Good afternoon and welcome to Omnibroslive. I am Omnidog. Thank you for tuning in. I apologize that we're late. I had some unfinished business that I had to talk to the guys in the green room about before the show. So I apologize. Thank you for your patience. And this is Omnibroslive on a Sunday, and I am joined, as always, by Gabe Loves 90s Comics.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, guys.
And Comics Guide 101.
Hello, everybody.
So there we are. Here the three of us are excited to talk about comic books and comic book related television properties.
And and WandaVision and all the craziness that's coming out of that.
And since we started late, it's my MO that I always forget our sponsors plugs. Oh, there it is. Thank you. InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. At the end of every month, we give away a $50 coupon credit gift card from IST, and we give it away to a lucky viewer like you out there. $50 or more in an order in the United States gets you free shipping. You're going to want that this month. This month is heavy with books. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Okay.
All right. Thanks to everybody in the chat for showing up. Awesome people in the chat, as always. A shout out to all of our viewers on there. We're also on Facebook in the Omnibros Facebook page. So you guys can always check us out on the Omnibros Facebook page as well. This is streaming through multiple channels.
I need to learn how to do that because my connection got broken to Facebook.
Yeah, our connection to the Facebook group, like the Omnibus Collectors group, got disconnected. And we need an admin, either you or Ryley, to reconnect that so we could do this on the Facebook group as well.
Oh, where are we now?
The Omnibros page. Like we have the Omnibros page.
Cool.
We're not in the group. We're on our page.
Okay, so you need an admin to let you in. Okay. All right. Well, let's try and figure that out.
It's easy. You just got to log into our live stream, our StreamYard, and just give permission for access to the.
Okay, I'll try and do it after the show.
Awesome. So yeah, WandaVision, guys.
Let's just dive right into it because I know you got to go, Gabe.
I cried like a baby. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Like,
which part? I felt like there were a couple parts where I could have.
Spoiler tag.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Sorry about that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Galactus shows up and eats the planet. No, the part with the whole I've said it before. This entire WandaVision has really just been the 5 stages of grief, and watching Scarlet Witch go through denial and anger and bargaining. And then this last episode was the acceptance phase, where she was able to finally accept her loss and live with that.
4 of them. What's the 5th one?
I don't know. Is it 5 stages of grief?
There is 5. It's denial,
anger,
bargaining, acceptance,
anger.
Yeah. Okay. So the anger was the one you're missing.
Okay. But yeah, and this is the acceptance part. And the acceptance of this also had to have her accept the idea that now that she's a Scarlet Witch and she has all the extra powers and whatnot, that she's okay letting go. And her tucking the kids in, knowing that her kids are, it's like dealing with knowing that your kids are going to die, and how it's almost like we know there's a meteorite that's going to hit Earth in 20 minutes. How would you spend those last few moments with your children? You know, you tuck them in the bed and you tell them everything is okay, and you get ready to kind of let go. And that was just like, oh man, I was just streaming just tears. I needed a beach towel to kind of clean myself up. It was bad, but great. Like that's that emotional aspect of this is what's really so fascinating about the series. It's not just superheroes punching each other and Easter eggs and just a tease factory. Like people we'll talk about the incorrect fan theories because there's
Yeah.
a lot, but it was all just this wasn't a teach factor for anything. Like it wasn't a machine to lead you into the next movies or anything like that. It was a complete story, all in its own. And we'll talk about the incorrect fan theories because that's such a fun thing that we all got caught up into and we could talk about.
Yeah, I'm seeing Mr. Awesome say people hate on everything. I don't get if there's any hate for WandaVision. I don't get it because I thought this was brilliant. I thought it was fun. I thought this ending was perfect where it was just Agatha. That's all it was. It was just Agatha.
We were all incorrect. We were like, how are they going to wrap up this story in the last episode? And they did it. Like they I mean, there might be like one or two strings kind of left, but like most of the major like ideas and what we wanted happened. Like they explained the whole idea with Pietro. They explained, what's going to happen to the Hex. They explained who was really behind it. I mean, everything was really they wrapped it all up and amazingly, because I didn't think they could do that in one episode.
And she accepted her role as the Scarlet Witch.
Damn.
What's going on there?
Sorry, my throat. No, I think it's definitely a case of the people that don't like it are the people that had these crazy fans, and we bit into it as well because it's fun. You want to speculate with these shows, and this is kind of something that I miss from the weekly thing is that water cooler talk because this is what it is. We speculate like, oh man, what if it's this? It could be this, or this is leading up to this. That's all fun and good, but you have to realize 90% of the time it's probably not going to be what you think it is because the writers kind of expect this stuff. I really enjoyed the final episode. I thought it was a solid final episode, and for me, the strongest part wasn't even the action scenes. I kind of tuned out a lot of the action stuff. I'm like, okay, well, this you kind of had to have this, but it was really more of those intimate and personal moments that Wanda had with Vision and the conversations they had. That was the stuff that I was really, really interested in. And I really love the fact they didn't go with the stereotypical Vision beats Vision by destroying him fight or anything like that. And they chose a different route where it was logic. That whole thing with Theseus, I think it was Theseus and the boat.
Dude, that was amazing.
Fantastic. Man. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And they nailed it. If there's one thing I can praise about this show, they nail those quiet, heartfelt moments that you are building up to. Because if you don't nail those moments you're building up to, the whole thing falls apart. And those moments where Wanda, like you said, Gabe, Wanda tucks in her kids at night and she's saying her final goodbyes. And the moment that broke me was Vision saying, I have been this, I have been this, and I've been this. What will I be and what will I be next? And she's saying, I will see you again, basically along the lines of, I'll see you again sometime. Like, this isn't the end of me. It just, it's so good. So good. And last week's line of what is grief but love persevering, I think is basically what the quote was.
That is it.
That is one of those lines that as a writer you wish you would get you would nail something like that.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. Yes.
Yeah.
Just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The writing on this show is fantastic.
Yep.
Like the action stuff is okay. That's not really what I wanted from this show. And they just nail it. I absolutely love this.
They couldn't have done a better ending for this show. Like they couldn't have done it better. Like the idea that like Jess was saying that it was Agatha the whole time, and it's not them repeating the same kind of formula and trope like they did with Loki, where he was like the harbinger of Thanos and all that kind of stuff, where she wasn't the harbinger of Mephisto and just the idea of Marvel trolling us this entire time, and we all bit into it. We all speculated.
Did Marvel do that, or did we do that to ourselves?
No, Marvel did because they set up a boner joke for 4 episodes, and they paid it off on this.
Not just that, but like I don't know if I still have the image, but there was a Easter egg of the Grim Reaper in one of the openings, and he never showed up. There was no the Grim Reaper never showed up. They they said that this was supposed to lead directly into Doctor Strange, so you expected like a Doctor Strange like appearance. I thought like when she became full on Scarlet Witch, that Doctor Strange is going to help her learn.
Yeah.
You know, like he was going to be like a mentor figure for her. But obviously she doesn't need it. They said that she was superior or more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
And it didn't lead into it didn't lead into Doctor Strange at all. I mean, there was a little bit about like there was a scroll kind of appearance at the very end. It didn't lead into anything else that we expected it. I mean, the fandom really got to all of us of oh that's Mephisto. Oh, maybe that's Mephisto. Oh, maybe Mephisto. And maybe he'll show up down the road. Who knows? But it didn't show up in this show whatsoever. And his first appearance book has been blowing up, like 960s. They are hitting like 30K. Like
what?
People are dropping hard on the first appearance of Mephisto, and it never happened. You know, he never showed up. Doesn't mean he probably won't. I don't know. Who knows? But what we got from WandaVision, it was straight Agatha the entire time trying to get the powers from WandaVision.
I wonder if the negative review people that Mr. Awesome talks about are the ones that came up with these wild theories, and when those didn't come to fruition, they had built themselves up so much that they felt it didn't live up to what they expected.
Oh yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, I think that I was much happier with this very simple, very clear, clean ending. You know, with her just standing on the piece of property again. I know a lot of people. I made the mistake of watching one of those Easter egg YouTube shows, and I was like, "Whoa, that makes sense." Yeah, look at that thing in the East. You know, there was 82 Easter eggs and stuff, and then at the end of this, I realized that is really what I hate. I like to just, and what I never did with Mandalorian, I mean, I always did with Mandalorian. I never tried to guess anything. I just let the episodes wash over me, and I just enjoyed them. And I think that it's fine that I engaged in speculation for this, but I didn't take it so seriously that since it didn't come true, I thought that it sucked. I really liked the simplicity of the ending, you know, with Monica Rambeau and with Wanda and Agatha and everybody. The bad sword guy got arrested, and he was just a sword guy.
Which he's a dick because he was going to shoot a child. He was getting ready to kill a child without even thinking twice.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that we got correct, was that we were saying that we think that guy is just a normal dude. He's just an asshole who's a leader of this department. I
think I felt he was more. You guys were right, and I was wrong on that. I felt that he might be a bad guy. But I mean, he was just a regular old bad guy. He wasn't Super Skrull or something.
This series, I'm going to get out here in a little bit, but this series is... This series, and with it being episodic like this, is one of the best things they could have ever done. Like, if this would have been like a binge, there's no way we would have had this kind of attachment to it, because the weekly speculation and the weekly theories and the weekly discussion really built it up. And you know, I think Jess is 100% correct that the people who are negative about it, probably a lot of them feel that their theories didn't come to fruition, so they felt like cheated, or they felt that they were proven wrong, or they just had this. They built up this entire event that they liked, and a lot of it was great. I was falling in for it too. Like, yeah, Mephisto is going to be in charge, and it's going to lead into this. And that's how we're going to get Ghost Rider, and it's all this, you know, supernatural stuff. Yeah, and then of course that didn't come apart. But this is very much is exactly how it feels when you read a fantastic comic book, and comic books in general. And what I love about the comic books is the weekly kind of comic books are monthly, of course, but the piece by piece building of the story that lets you develop the story, that lets you attach to the story, attach to the characters, that leads back to other things. Like we said, this made you want to go back and watch Age of Ultron again, because there was so much attached to Age of Ultron that came into this, and so it's very much like a comic book. And this is felt like a mini series that you probably don't absolutely 1000% have to read or watch for the rest of the movies, but it's that extra, veggies and potatoes on your main course that leads you back into the movies as well. You get a little bit out of it. Like it's this ancillary, like spin-off tie-in series. That's fantastic.
Well, I think people are making a mistake if they don't see this, because first of all, it was great television, and it gives you further insight into who's going to be a major character in the next Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
She was, they've got big plans for her now in the MCU, and I could not be happier about that. That is awesome. Now if we can, there it is.
I love that we got White Vision. That White Vision is sticking around, because I've said it before. White Vision was the Vision in Avengers when I first started reading comic books. Like I didn't know, I don't associate very much with the green and red version of White Vision or a Vision. I go with the binary, pure data, soulless, heartless, kind of not heartless, but no emotionalist machine that is Vision. And I can't wait to see that. And I'm going to see what happened, because, Vision touched them and gave him the memories, and you saw that he changed his personality a little bit, or like the way he spoke before he took off.
Warm up a little bit when he said, "I am Vision," and then flew off.
But that thing with the boat, like Lou said, was just the best thing. That and the perseverance of love is the two lines that just like, this doesn't win awards. The boat where they're talking about, there's a boat, and as the boat rots, you replace its planks with new wood.
Yeah.
And then if when it gets to that point where the entire boat is replaced by new wood, is it the same boat?
Yeah.
And then what happens with that other the pieces of the boat that rotted away? Is that the real boat, or is the boat with the new parts the real boat? And they're both the same boat. They're both the right boat. And that was that's how they easily were able to explain to everybody that they both are the Vision. It's just one has this aspect and one has that aspect. And man. All right. So anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks everybody for showing up. Gabe Loves 90s Comics on YouTube. I do have a new video dropping here in about 20 minutes. If you like Stephen Platt Moon Knight, I did an overview of all the issues of Stephen Platt Moon Knight. That's going to drop at 10 o'clock. So everybody, please take a look at that. And you guys, thanks. I love hanging out with you guys. Sorry, I got to leave. I got a family event.
Can you turn off the spoilers thing?
Are we done talking about spoilers?
Real quick, Wanda has the best outfit in the MCU.
Yes.
I loved it. I love the outfit they gave her. It's true to the roots of the comic book while modernizing it. It looks amazing. She looks great in the outfit.
She's awesome, and I'm so pleased that she's going to be such a major part of the MCU. Now I need him to make magic a big part. Emma Frost and Psylocke. Wait, who am I forgetting? Rogue. Yeah, there needs to be an A-Force with those characters.
Oh man, I would love A-Force stuff to come up pretty soon.
I would love A-Force. Yeah. Is that gonna wait? That's not gonna be something, is it, or is it?
No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. I think the next big female-centric movie is going to be Captain Marvel 2, and it's obvious it's going to be Monica Rambeau, and Captain Marvel will probably.
Is it that, or is it Hawkeye? I mean, I know Hawkeye has Jeremy Renner in it, but we were also getting Bishop. What's her name?
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. Yeah, so we're getting her, and then we're also apparently getting
Miss Marvel,
Kamala Khan as well. So. We're in for some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
And in a couple of weeks, I don't know if we agreed to this. I might just make us agree to it right now. Maybe doing for our patrons, we're going to do a group viewing of Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more. I'm out of here.
Okay. Thanks, Gabe.
Bye, man. Later, guys.
Bye, man.
Okay. Now we can do what we want.
What was that?
Well played. That is funny.
So yeah, man. I mean, overall, I loved it. Super excited for the future of it, and we are. This does set up some things, so we'll see how that plays out in the future.
Does it set up more than I'm thinking? Does it set up more than the next Doctor Strange movie? Are there any other replica? Oh, it sets up Captain Marvel.
Sets up Captain Marvel. Sets up Secret Wars because of the Skrulls. The Skrulls keep playing a huge part, and they keep showing up.
Yeah, what
Secret Invasion. My mistake. Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion, yeah. What I forget now what that mid-credits what was the mid-credits scene again?
So there were 2 credit scenes. There was the one where Monica Rambeau, she comes in to like a theater or something like that, and she talks to like an agent that we saw earlier on in the episode.
Yeah.
And the agent reveals themselves to be a Skrull. And the Skrull says, "I want you to come with me," and he points up, and Monica just kind of smiles, and it's like, okay. Well, she's gonna go up to space and chill with Nick Fury and smoke space ganja and whatever Nick Fury is doing up,
ganja,
and chill with like the Skrulls and stuff like that. That's where she's heading, which is more than likely heading into Captain Marvel. Which actually makes me excited to see Captain Marvel because I wasn't a fan of the first one, to say the least.
So it'll be more Monica for you, and you'll be happier.
I would 100% be happy if they poochied Captain Marvel and it was a Monica Rambeau film. I really would. If the opening credit is a Star Wars size crawl where it tells us everything, and Brie Larson's Captain Marvel ended up getting sucked into a vacuum in space or in the negative zone, I'd be like, all right, cool. And Monica Rambeau is really the star of this film. I would love that.
I must be the only one that liked Brie Larson. I really liked her.
Not a fan.
What was I going to ask you next? The second one. Second one was her in a cabin. Yeah.
She's in a mountain area, and I thought to myself, is that Carmertage? Could that be like under the slopes of Carmertage, and she's kind of studying in that area with like the sorcerers, not necessarily with the Sorcerer Supreme, but in that area. And the opening film of Doctor Strange is him coming down and meeting up with her, or whatever it is. And it's clear you hear her kids. So here,
exactly.
There were a few things that were dropped in this episode that were important. One, Agatha says, "You are stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme himself." So we saw how powerful Doctor Strange is in Infinity War and in Endgame. He's extremely powerful in the MCU. So apparently she's even more powerful than that. And in the first Doctor Strange film, Doctor Strange had to leave his body laying flat in order to do the astral projection. We see that she is so powerful. Her body could just be walking around doing whatever, and she still has her astral projection form, still studying and reading and doing whatever it is.
And it's not even ghostly. It's like fully formed Scarlet Witch. Like his astral projection was ghostly type of, like the white ghost type thing.
Yeah, and it's clear she was trying to figure out a way to save her kids. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that plays into that. What is the next MCU film that we have lined up? Is it Spider-Man? Because it's not Doctor Strange.
It's not Doctor Strange. Is it Spider-Man?
Somebody in the chat would most likely know. I think. Well, they still have to drop Black Widow. But Black Widow was supposed to come out last year before WandaVision, so who knows how that's going to play out. And it's a prequel to everything because it's set between the events of Infinity War and Endgame. Most likely Black Widow is going to be set up the Skrulls or Secret Invasion in some way. I still fully believe that Black Widow is a Skrull, or that they're leading to like that being the big reveal. And
you think Black Widow's a Skrull?
It would be a good retcon way out of having to get rid of Scarlett Johansson, and they could bring her back and like, no, this was the real Black Widow, and the Black Widow that died in Endgame was actually a Skrull.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So if they want to bring her back, that's kind of a backdoor kind of half way to do it.
What was the look on Wanda's face though? It was just for a split second at the very end. She hears the sounds barely of like kids, and she almost looked angry, or she furrowed her brow and looked off.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. I
So
didn't actually expect you to know. I just wanted to get it out that I noticed that.
hold on, let me look up. Actually, now you got me curious. MCU release date.
Well, what about Eternals? Somebody's saying something about Eternals. Shang-Chi.
Eternals is done. Okay, so this is as of right now. This could change because of the way things are happening with COVID. Black Widow is scheduled for May 7th, 2021. Shang-Chi is scheduled after that for July 9th.
Nope.
Then we get Eternals in November and Spider-Man in December. So we have 4 MCU films to look forward to this year, unless anything gets pushed back.
Spider-Man in December is the only one I will consider going to, and I have to have both shots, and we have to have herd immunity, and a bunch of other conditions have to be met if you want me to return to the theater.
Yeah.
I'm just as happy to stay here at home.
Yeah, they're saying the early word on Eternals is that it's the best film that they've done, which okay. I'm excited to see Eternals.
Wow.
I don't see how any of these outside of Eternals and Spider-Man will probably be the ones that might tie into Doctor Strange the most.
Well, what's Tom Holland doing? Every other week he's saying no, 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 no. And everybody else is saying, yeah, these guys are going to be like, there's going to be a multiverse with different Spider-Men and stuff. Does anybody know anything? Is there really going to be a multiverse or not?
That's all speculation as far as that multiversal theory that apparently Tobey Maguire has done some scenes. They brought back what's the other one that I didn't like?
Andrew Maguire?
Huh?
Andrew Maguire?
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, apparently Andrew Garfield has come back and shot a few scenes as well in a Spider-Man outfit. But that's all speculation that people have said. And
what about Michael Keaton? Didn't they definitely see him as Vulture?
Michael Keaton is actually in the Mephisto movie. Remember, that was still a thing that was
Mephisto movie. There's a Mephisto movie?
Not Mephisto, vampire guy.
Morbius.
Thank you. He's in the Morbius film.
As Vulture?
Yes. They were in the trailer. In the first trailer they dropped for Morbius, he shows up for like a second and he's talking to him.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's in that.
All right.
When are we supposed to get fucking Morbius is supposed to be this year too, isn't it? Because it was supposed to be last year.
Was that a TV show or a movie?
That's a movie.
Movie, okay.
So this is so far. Then we get next year in 2022. Again, this could all change, guys. So
yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder is February 11th, and they are filming that right now. And then Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is March. But that could change as well.
Okay, there has to be in Spider-Man, I think everybody realizes there has to be some kind of mechanism for him to get his secret identity back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they've also said they said that the actor that played Daredevil is filmed some stuff as well.
Yeah, Charlie Cox.
Yeah, apparently Charlie Cox has. This is again speculation, and we've been talking about rumors for the past few weeks, but apparently Charlie Cox has filmed some things for that Spider-Man film, and that's going to play into it. Which, I mean, I'm cool with it. I would honestly think that the way they'd set it up would be that he's probably Peter's defense attorney or something like that. After the post-credit scene where his identity got outed, I think that could be a route that they go in. And, they've got the scrolls now, so they could even do a thing where Peter shows up in one space and then Spider-Man comes swinging in another space. And that's kind of how they get him his out. So they could do something like that.
All right. Okay. I'm not going to worry about Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah. So Guardians is filming this year. Guardians is starting to film this year, but James Gunn is currently doing Peacemaker, and he just wrapped up Suicide Squad.
Now that's a movie I want to see.
Yeah. So everything is backed up, guys, because of COVID and all that other stuff. So we were supposed to get a lot of stuff last year, and now everything is just coming out this year like crazy. We are getting 5 if you count Morbius MCU films this year. 5 MCU.
But I don't see myself. This is speaking for me. I don't see myself comfortable. First of all, I'm different than a lot of people, but I've talked to other people who feel the same way. I am not just going to go barging out there and Monday through Friday, I'm going to be engaging with people, going to the grocery store and going to visiting the monuments and stuff. I am going to have to reintroduce myself to society slowly because I've been living a pretty quiet life, and I live just outside of DC, which is notoriously noisy and crowded. So I don't know that I can be expected to just get right up and go to a movie in a movie theater.
I honestly don't understand why Marvel just doesn't do the day and date digital and theater release. I really don't know, because people will go to the theater to watch a Marvel film. There is that experience that we've talked about where people will line up and go, but some people don't want to. I would love to be able to watch it at home.
Oh, me too.
We've mentioned it. I'd pay $40-$50 to be able to watch it at home in the comfort of my house.
I definitely pay $30. Yeah, it's gonna. First of all, going to the movie for me entails getting on a major freeway, major interstate.
Yeah,
that's people and fast cars, which I haven't dealt with. Then parking's not a big deal, but then I'm going to be reintroduced into a movie theater, which is indoors with a bunch of other people. I may still have a mask on, even if I have both vaccines in me. I may never take that vaccine off. I didn't get a cold this year either.
I think I'm going. It's going to be very interesting the next few years. I do love that shirt.
Thank you.
The next few years are going to be very interesting as far as a society, we have changed so much in just the past year. How long is it going to take before people start to really trust and go, okay, well, I'll take my mask off if I'm out at the grocery store or something like that? Because this is kind of like letting Pandora's box, which, how do you put this back? There are always now going to be people that are like, no, after this situation, I'll just wear a mask whenever out in public and stuff like that.
I don't think we can highlight comments, can we? There's Ryley there saying we do live in a society.
Oh, I can. I think I can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, 53. There's the Omnibus Collector.
There it is. I can do it.
Oh, well, how come you can and I can't?
I'm a mod, I guess. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm kind of curious how the fallout of all this is going to be in the next few years and everything like that. So my mom's begging me to go get the vaccine, and I'm just like, I'm not in a rush. I'm fine. I've already had it.
Really? That's interesting. Why are you like that?
I've already had it.
Oh, you've already had it.
I've already had it, to be honest. And I know I can get it again, obviously, but I'm just not in a rush to get a vaccine right now.
Well, dude, my niece's husband has been in the hospital for 3 weeks, 8 days in an induced coma.
Yeah.
Lost 55 pounds.
Oh, my God.
And he is just now coming out of the coma because of COVID. They've had him on a respirator.
Yeah.
This is not something I would mess with. I want my shots right away.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not rushing it. I was when I had it, I was very fortunate that it was 2-3 days. That was the worst of it. Chills, lost the sense of taste. Which was really the worst part of it. I hated not being able to taste anything because I like cooking.
Yeah.
And like a fever that broke after the first day. And then the rest was, I was contagious, but I really didn't feel it. So I was very fortunate. There are some people that they unfortunately are not. So
how old is my niece's husband? Let's see. I think he's 50. Chat Omnidog. My niece is 51. My niece is going to be 51. Let's see. I'm not an essential. I'm on the unessential worker, anti-essential worker list.
I can get it. I'm considered essential.
Boy, you're your own guy, but I sure would get it if I were you.
Yeah.
You do not want this. Just, you don't want a worst case.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you could get it, I would definitely get it.
Yeah.
Especially because your governor's a nut.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not as bad as Texas is right now, at least.
No.
But we're next. We're next.
Yeah, it goes Texas, then Florida.
Oh, we do. We are 100% next. I think we're supposed to have WrestleMania this year. I think is in Tampa. And I'm pretty sure our governor, like a week or two before, is like, nope, full capacity. Everybody, we're going to open everything up. Because our governor is basically the governor from Jaws. So,
Jaws.
Yeah.
Chest Rockwell says, just my parents still live in Northern Virginia. That's where I do, like you, and they got their vaccines last week, both in late 60s. See, that's the issue, Chest. I'm early 60s. I'm 61. So my wife's already gotten one. She's on schedule for getting her second one. Actually, my daughter got one because of her asthma. She's got asthma, so she's getting one. I mean, I'll get it eventually. I'm not worried about it. I'm happy to stay home and not deal with people. So
yeah. So it's definitely been interesting, man. And I am the messed up curious side of me is very interested to see what the next few years are going to look like for us as a country and as a society, in terms of masks and in terms of people just being, because I suspect that even after everybody get the vaccine is really pushed out and is readily available for a lot of people, that there's still going to be people that are going to be like, no, that's cool. I'm still going to wear a mask. I'm still like, you can't put the genie back in this bottle anymore.
Which part are you talking about?
People wearing masks, and being a little bit more cautious about going out and when they're around and how many people they're around and stuff like that.
I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, if I go to something like San Diego Comic-Con, mask and gloves.
Yeah.
Face shield.
Yeah. I know Orlando is supposed to have MegaCon, which is the biggest convention in the southern area. I think they pushed it to July, I want to say this year, July, August, something like that. And I'm pretty sure after this past week and seeing CPAC and what's going on over there, where they're not really enforcing the mask thing in that convention, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be enforcing MegaCon or anything like that, like wearing a mask or anything like that. And I want to go because it's been so long since I've been to a con, and I miss it. I really do miss going to a con. But if they're not going to enforce the mask thing, I don't think I'm going to do it.
If they have Baltimore Con this year and it's in like October, that's still pretty close to the. If they don't enforce masks, I'm not going. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Roberto makes a great point. People in Japan have been wearing masks for years, and we call them weirdos. And
yeah,
that's true. They are a society that was very common, where people wear masks and gloves and stuff like that. So we are going to be embracing that, I think, a lot more here as a country.
People in Japan, like during the flu season, they wear masks.
Yeah. During the flu season, off the flu season, they're very cautious about that stuff over there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, without doing any research, I think they handled this, from my understanding, a lot better than we did, and I think partially that's because they trust the people that are in charge, and they are a society that wears masks normally and gloves, so it wasn't a big deal for them. So,
yeah. Let's see. Apparently, less people have passed away from flu as a result of masks and social distancing. Regular flu. Yeah, I believe that. It makes sense that fewer people are getting sick from flu because of masks and social distancing. I agree that. Yeah, all over Asia, actually, not just Japan. Yeah, I think I've noticed it about South Korea too.
And it's true. Somebody mentioned it in the chat. Cons already where people would get what's called the con crud, where you would go to a convention and you would come back a few days and you weren't feeling that hot. So,
Yeah, there's no 6 feet of distancing in any con.
Oh no, and you're always touching things and you're always around things. You're looking through back issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've all been to cons and we've all seen that guy where we're like, oh, you don't bathe. You haven't bathed in a long time, pal.
Just that one guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny. Matt Miranda posted a picture the other day of when I met him the first time in 2016 out in California.
Mm-hmm.
And it was outside a comic book store that had a some type of board game tournament going on in it. And that place reeked. It was gross. I'm like flipping through the comic books and I look over at that area and you could almost see it. It was just coming off these guys in waves. It smelled so bad. Oh my gosh. Something about those board gamers. I apologize to any board game. No, I don't. Board gamers, take a shower. Come on. Get with it.
You know who's big into board games, right?
Who is?
You know who's big into board games, right?
I know Maddie is.
Joey Goose is big into board games.
Oh, Joey Goose is?
Yeah, he's huge into board games, man. He plays them all the time. He posts photos of him playing them all the time, and he buys a lot of them too.
I wish I was. I tried to play. Shoot, it's very popular. You've got a shoot. What is the name of that game? You've got building supplies and gardening supplies, and it's a board, and you've got all kinds of supplies. And Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, Settlers. Oh man, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
I like this.
Yeah,
Tyler.
Board games.
Taxes.
Yeah, my nephew called us over and said, we're going to have board game night. I'm like, that sounds great. And we started playing Settlers of Catan, and I was like, you're kidding me. I'm not doing this. What?
It's work.
Boring.
It sounds like work.
Yeah, I was not into it. I want to find a fun... I'm not against board games, man, but I want to find something fun with some action and things go and things.
Yeah. For me, I played, as far as board games and stuff like that, I'm a classic guy. Like, just give me Monopoly. Give me something easy. Because some of these board games they have out now, man, they are impressive how they set up these board games and all the rules and all the stuff that they put into it. It's awesome. I see some of the stuff that Joe Goose posts up, and I'm like, that actually looks like a lot of fun. I never, obviously, because I grew up, my generation, I was big into Pokemon cards as a kid. I played Magic the Gathering heavily in my college years. I was really into Magic the Gathering in my college years.
Okay.
Warhammer, I had a stint for like about a year that I loved playing Warhammer a lot. That was really fun. But I never really got into it when I started realizing, Warhammer is a huge money pit. And those little figures cost a lot of money.
Oh, this is a physical board game?
Warhammer is it's a game you play, and there's like these huge manuals in order to play it, and there are different races, there are different characters that you pick, and basically what you're doing is you are building up your army from all these different characters that you buy and all these different races and stuff like that you buy, and you compete against somebody else in kind of like objective-based games. So there was like a capture the flag game that you play with the figures and stuff like that, and it gets pretty intense, and there's a lot of rules and a lot of different ways that the characters play out. It's fun. It's very fun, but it's a huge money pit, and you can do different things with the figures. You can buy the figures and just, paint them and decorate them and go all into them, or you can pretty much just buy the figures as they are, and you can use them in the game and stuff like that. It's a blast. Warhammer is so much fun, but it's so expensive. It's just such a big money pit.
Huh. Well, I am going to start this week playing the first Spider-Man on my PS4.
So good.
I finally found my controller. I moved it downstairs, and I'm going to play it. I've only owned it for 3 years now. Has it been 3 years since it's been out?
Yes. It's been about 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. It's time. Yeah. I'm going to play it.
It's fun. You're going to have a great
time. He says how great it is, and I want to play all of it. Like every side quest I will do.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun game, man. You're going to love it.
Good. Because then I want to play the new one with Miles.
I love the Miles game. It was great, dude. It's so much fun, and they nailed Miles as a character, and it looks amazing on the new console. It looks just so good. What have you been reading, man? Now that we're kind of shooting the shit a little bit. Anything particular you want to share today?
Sure. Let's see. I started Dawn of X. I first started by reading House of X, Powers of X, Powers of 10. I'm in the middle of book 2. I'm going to read all of not all of Dawn of X. I'm going to read as much Dawn of X as I can this week. Just because it's time. I've got 13 volumes of it. I need to read it. It's going to be omnibused, this summer probably. So. Let's see. What else have I read? Shoot, I just did a whole video. Gosh darn it. I just did I read Detective Comics 1027.
Nice.
Great. I loved this book. It has a Bendis story in here. So good. Bendis really knows Batman.
Mm-hmm. He should have been writing Batman.
I think so too. He's really good. Then I read wait, I put him away already. So I have to look for everything. I read Loki, Agent of Asgard. That's what I read. Loki, that's 3 volumes. Loki, Agent of Asgard.
How was it? Was it good?
First book was really good.
Mm-hmm.
The second book counts on your knowledge of an awful lot of events and other Marvel books. So it was still interesting, but I didn't get as much out of it. And then the third book was really good again. It stood on its own. Both 1 and 3, to me, stood on their own. But 2 counted on your having knowledge of other stuff. So I didn't get as much out of it.
Okay. Cool.
I'm the first to admit that I can, I need to read Thor's run. That would have helped me. It did refer to some Thor stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I still enjoyed it. It's Al Ewing. It was really well done. The art was good.
Yeah.
Loki is reborn as a young Loki. For every mission he does for the All-Mother, one of his sins is erased on his record. Old Loki shows up and is a wrinkle in the plot.
Yeah.
And there's a girl named Verity in it who sees through all lies, and they become friends, Loki and she, because he doesn't lie anymore. He's trying to be a good guy. It was good. I liked the whole setup. It was fun.
I'm glad you brought up Dawn of X, because that's what I've been dipping my toe into a lot lately on the Marvel Unlimited app. I'm currently reading pretty much all the stuff leading up to X of Swords or 10 of Swords or however you call it.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff is good. It's really I'm excited for you to start reading it, because it's very clear that Hickman is kind of the focal point of a lot of these X-Men books, because what they're really doing with the Dawn of X stuff is that they are really making this a thing where it's like, we are going to establish that this is a society, that they are building up a country, because that's really what they are doing. So these people we've got the Marauders, and the Marauders are basically going to be led by Kitty Pryde, and she's going to be called the Red Queen.
Are you reading them as series like the Marauders and Hellions, or are you going through it like I am, like Dawn of X2, where I'm reading the second issues of everything?
That's how I'm doing it. I'm reading the second issues of everything. So I will read X-Men #1 by Hickman, and then I'll read Marauders #1,
right,
and then I'll read X-Force #1, and I'm playing it through because they have a set reading order. And it's really fascinating to see how they are flushing all this stuff out. For example, so in Marauders, the X-Men have established, okay, we have basically the cure for cancer. So we are going to have Kitty Pryde, who is going to go out and she's going to help distribute this cure because we are trying to establish relationships with humanity. And on top of that, we are also going to have Kitty Pryde go out and rescue all these mutants that can't get access to Krakoa.
Yeah.
Because what's happened is Krakoa's opened up these warp gates all over the world. And as you would expect, some countries are not letting people cross and get into it. So
that was really cool when Russia was guarding their gate and letting no one near the gate.
Yes. How far have you gotten into the Dawn of X stuff so far?
I'm only on issue 2.
Issue 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will choose what I say a little bit more.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's really fascinating, and I love the stuff with X-Force is really good. Hellions, which is a little bit farther down the line of that stuff. It didn't come out initially when all these other books came out.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. The only one that I'm kind of 50-50 on right now is Excalibur, which I'm enjoying Excalibur because it's dealing with Psylocke and it's dealing with Rogue and the magic side of things, and it's got Apocalypse, and it's kind of interesting to see Apocalypse being basically like a mage.
Yeah, it is interesting to see him like that.
It's a different take on it. And who is it? Is it Percy that's writing Excalibur? Who's writing or is it Teenie Howard?
Teenie Howard is.
Teenie Howard's writing Excalibur.
Yeah.
Let
me go grab. I think. Wait, did I take all the? No, wait. I've got all the books somewhere. Let me.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just grab book 4 so I know. I mean, I'll be on book 4 by tonight. Okay. Yeah, Teenie Howard's writing Excalibur.
Right, and it's really good.
Percy's writing Excalibur now.
Is it Percy?
Teenie is writing Marauders with Jerry Duggan and Ed Brisson.
Okay. And Percy is writing Excalibur.
Correct.
Okay. There's so many books that I've been reading. I lose track at times.
Yeah.
So Excalibur is kind of 50-50 with me. I'm not a fan of the art too much. It's more the art than the story because I am interested in the concept of, hey, this warp gate opened up in the underworld, and now you've got this character who's like, this shouldn't be here. What is this doing here? And what Apocalypse is doing kind of behind the scenes, because it very much feels like he's kind of pulling the strings a little bit in a certain way that he wants things to go. But they haven't revealed necessarily what that is. It's really good. I mean, all the stuff right now that's being written is very good. I'm not even going to give away what happens in the first issue of X-Force because I'm like, oh, well, that's one way to go.
I just read that yesterday. That was a bit of a surprising ending.
Yeah, it's a really surprising ending, and I'm like, okay, this is actually a really good way to set up the X-Force team and why they need this team. And I don't know, man. I think you'd be fine if you read just the main Hickman stuff, but I think you are kind of missing out because it's clear that they looked at, okay, how would we establish an X-Men society? They all sat down, the whole team, and been like, okay, you can take care of this part where this is how they're going to distribute this medicine. This is going to be the magic area. Well, this is going to be our Black Ops team. We need that because sometimes things happen in society and we need a team to go in and fix it. And we're gonna have just our main team, which is the main X-Men book, which is what Hickman is doing, and that's gonna be kind of focusing on the main core group and the slice of life stuff, where you've got Scott Summers that he is establishing his home on the moon, and how all that leads into and spreads out into the other books. So it's really good stuff, and I think it's a good time to be an X-Men fan. I haven't necessarily read a bad book. They've all been varying degrees of okay to great. I just wish the art on Excalibur is killing me. I'm just not a fan.
Let's see, Excalibur, Benjamin Percy. X-Force was number 4, was written by Marcus Toe. What Excalibur? The art, you didn't like the art? Let's see.
I'm not a fan of the art because in my mind, I have a certain way that I like Psylocke to look, and they make her look so young in this, and it just doesn't do it for me. I'm not a fan of the look.
Oh, Marcus Toe. Well, that's weird. Why do they say it does say Teenie Howard is writing Excalibur and Marcus Toe's the artist. Don't go by the back of the book. So this is the art you're not a big fan of in Excalibur?
Not a fan. It doesn't do it for me, to be honest with you. The writing is good. The writing is sharp. It's good enough to carry the book, but I'm just not crazy about the art.
Oh, wait, where's Psylocke? Betsy Braddock is Captain Britain.
Yeah, that's a big reveal, Jess.
Oh,
that's a big moment that happens. I'm
so sorry.
That's a big moment.
Even I knew that before I picked the book up. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Yeah. So, Hellion. But so far, if I were to recommend it, I'd say pick up obviously the main X-Men book. You need to read Excalibur for X of Swords, so I guess read that. Even though I'm 50-50 on it, just because if you want to read X of Swords, a lot of the context for what happens in that comes from Excalibur. Read that. Definitely read Hellions. Read X-Force. That's
a big book, that X of Swords.
Yeah,
it's like omni-sized. Is X of Swords, was it a bunch of single issues and they're now being collected into that OHC?
I think so. I haven't hit that point because I'm going through it on Marvel Unlimited right now, and I haven't hit that point where I'm at X of Swords. I'm 5 issues into every single book that I'm reading right now.
Okay. Let's see. They make a good point in the chat that Marauders has Emma Frost.
Marauders is great. Marauders is so much fun.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm going to read some more of this today. And there's Storm. You know what? I like this art. I don't mind the artwork in Excalibur.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised you don't like it.
It's just not for me. And I think it's more my bias towards what I think Psylocke looks like. I just think she looks a little too kiddie and too young.
Well, yeah, some of these Jubilee's looking pretty young. Who'd she have a kid with? Am I spoiling something there?
Oh, no. You're not spoiling anything there. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, that popped up. That was a surprise to me. I was like, oh, she's got a kid. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think I remember that she had a kid in something else. Chat, who'd Jubilee have a kid with? And when did it happen?
Yeah, but for me, when I think of Psylocke, I kind of think of like the Opena, the Jim Lee Psylocke, the one that looks a lot more mature and like she's been through some shit. That's the Psylocke that I like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
It's your raw shark.
It's my raw shark. Is it how do you pronounce it?
Psylocke.
Psylocke, my bad. Psylocke.
Jubilee had a kid about a decade ago. Well, that kid is still like tiny.
Somewhere right now, Omar is just yelling at his computer screen.
Oh, she adopted him? Is
Yeah.
she still a vampire?
Jubilee? No, I don't think she's not a vampire. I'm pretty sure.
I think Jubilee was a vampire for a while.
I think she was.
Yeah, I always wondered. I missed the book about when she became a vampire, so I need to get that. So I mean, I have so many gaps to fill. Jubilee was a vampire at one point, yeah, but she is not now. Okay. All right. Jess, did you get Legion of Superheroes Before the Darkness Volume 1? I haven't gotten an order in a long time. I don't currently have it. I'll have to look. Let me look. Let me look at my orders and see. There we go. Let's see. Wait, what was the book? Legion of Superheroes. That's an oversized hardcover, a deluxe or something, right?
I believe so.
Before the Darkness.
You got me on that one.
Yeah, it's not. No, 5 years later is that big thick thing. Jess, are you getting the Hoxpox Marvel Legends? They look amazing. Yes. I put in an order, and they are all coming at once, probably getting me into huge trouble. Oh, it's a standard hardcover. Okay. Why is this not loading? All right, fine. I'll do it online.
Frank Lloyd Richards has been 8 for like 50 years. That is true.
Let's see.
So yeah, all that X-Men stuff is good. It's all good right now, man. It's in one way, shape, or another, it's really interesting, and I'm kind of looking forward to keep diving through it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's a lot of fun.
It is. It's really a lot of fun, and it really gives you a bigger picture of everything that happens and what's going on right now with X-Men. Also, I read Firepower.
Oh, you did?
I'm all caught up on Firepower by Kirkman. Yeah.
You read it?
Yeah. Firepower's fun. It's a great read. I think the real star of the show is Samney, because you just can't beat that Chris Samney art, man. It's great stuff. Firepower is really good. It's Kirkman's new ongoing series. He had an OGN that was kind of like a prequel to the events leading up to the main book, and basically it's about a guy who, it's basically the Iron Fist story. A guy shows up. He trains. He gains the ability to, and this is me simplifying it, to be able to punch with fire. And it's a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. And so that's the entire OGN. The main crux of the story and the main title is what happens when it flash forwards 15 years, the guy's got a family, and they come looking for him to come back to the mountains because something's gone wrong. So Kirkman is, I will give Kirkman this. Kirkman actually is a pretty good writer for kids. He's able to really write kids, and he's got the voice down for kids really well. None of the stuff he's doing here is particularly original, but it's fun. And Chris Samney's art is really the star of the show. So I recommend you guys check that out if you're looking for something that's like, a little bit, you're not going to be shocked by really anything that goes on in the plot. But it's a fun read regardless. If you're looking for something to kick back, relax, and just read a great fun book, then yeah, I recommend you check out Firepower.
Be right back.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. I love Chris Samney's art too. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Jubilee was a vampire when she adopted the baby. See, there's so much of X-Men that I personally need to catch up. Omar and Ryley are so much better at the whole X-Men thing than I am. I have huge gaps in my reading for the X-Men, and it's one of those things where, like a million other things, I'm like, yeah, I'll come back and I want to read everything of Uncanny X-Men, but the reality is it would take me years and years to be able to get that. And I wish I had the dearth of knowledge that Omar and Ryley have for X-Men and have read as much as they have, because man, some of the stuff they tell me is like, wow, that sounds really cool. But I don't have the time to read through 300 issues of X-Men right now. And I don't have the space and everything like that. So let's see what we got. I just got a Black Widow complete collection by Wade and Somni. Somni is one of those guys, man, that he amazes me every time he's working on books. His art is just chef's kiss. It's beautiful every single time. And what's really great about Somni is just the way that he's able to do kinetic action and how he's able to transition from panel to panel, and you see everything just moves so smoothly and everything just fits in and moves to the next panel so well, where you're able as a reader to fill in the blanks of what happens in between panels. And I think that's that at times is where a lot of artists, they struggle with that. They struggle with being able to make you, okay, this is what happened between this panel. That was one of the complaints that I had when we were doing the Spider-Man review by J.J. Abrams, where I love Sarah Pacelli's art, but there were times where I was like, shit is just happening on the panel, and there's really no transition to the next one. And Chris Somni is able to do that so fucking well. It's genuinely impressive just how good of an artist he is.
Oh, that Black Widow complete collection by Wade and Somni is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love that book.
So we were just talking about Chris Somni and how great of an artist he is.
He is great. I can't get my in-stock trades to connect. I wonder if how could I be having a problem if I've got you? Okay, so I've got no internet problems if I've got you up, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How about Sideshow? Do they have any statue? That loaded right away. In stock trades, I'm having a problem with.
Jess, actually, this is one of the few Daredevil runs I haven't read. How do you feel about Charles Soule's Daredevil?
I haven't read it yet. I'm trying to think about how Taylor Brown felt about it.
Taylor's read it?
Yeah, he's a huge Daredevil fan.
Mm.
I think he felt like it was very good, but I think he thinks Zdarsky's is one of the best Daredevil runs of all time.
It's so good. His run is so good right now, man. For your IST problem, here we go. Apparently the website's having issues.
Yeah, Caesar is saying that IST is having issues. Okay. Well, I don't even remember what I was looking for now.
Yeah.
He asked me if I had something.
Love Samney on Daredevil with Wade too. Yeah. If you like that, he did a mini series with the Rocketeer. It was Chris Samney and Mark Waid.
Yeah.
Rocketeer, Cargo of Doom. Really fun read, man.
Where is that? I have that.
Yeah, it's a great read. It captures the spirit of what the Rocketeer is.
Yeah. That's one of Mark Waid's. That book is fun.
Mm-hmm.
That is just super fun. Where did I put that? Because I just brought it downstairs. Yeah. Rocketeer is really fun.
Lou, I'd say just read the Claremont, Morrison and Whedon. If you deep dive into 90s X-Men, 90s X-Men and after Claremont is skippable. I've read a good chunk of the Claremont stuff, read all of Morrison, and I've read all of Whedon. So I've read a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I think Soule's Daredevil is supposed to be really good. But I know that Taylor loves Zdarsky's.
I love Soule's She-Hulk. I really, really enjoyed his She-Hulk run.
I haven't read it, but I do own it, so I'm surprised it hasn't become a hardcover.
It's fun. It's a fun read.
Yeah.
It was the reason why I thought, he'd be a great writer for Daredevil, because he was. I don't know if he's a practicing lawyer anymore, because the guy's writing like crazy. But I heard mixed things about his Daredevil run. So
this is Charles Soule.
Yeah. I will tell you, his Swamp Thing run was better than Scott Snyder's.
I've heard that too.
It's much better than Scott Snyder's run.
I have heard that. I'm getting the omnibus because I just sent the Scott Snyder Deluxe and the trades by Soule to Taylor Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to until it actually came into my house and I had it physically because it's DC. But Omar said I was okay sending it away, that it's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I heard that too, that Soule's Swamp Thing is supposed to be even better than Snyder's.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read Ram V's Swamp Thing.
Haven't read that. Have not read that yet.
I don't know that it's come out yet. I think he had. I don't even know if he had. What was it? What was the first thing that came out before Infinite Frontier or whatever?
Dude, I don't know.
Future State. Yeah.
Right. Future State is what just happened, right? Where they did like 2 months, and you had, who was it that you had on an interview, and you're like, he just explained Future State far better than
Ram V.
Yeah,
it was Ram V. He explained it in 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, we were like, that makes complete sense. I had no idea what was going on, and he explained it perfectly. The first issue of Ram V Swamp Thing came out last Wednesday. It was a good first issue.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'll check it out tonight.
Okay. And anybody have thoughts on Ram V's Catwoman? I can't wait to read it. I don't have thoughts on it yet, though.
Yeah, I haven't. This is probably, in all my time reading comics, this is probably the least amount of time that I've been reading DC comics. Like, this is probably the least amount of titles that I've been reading DC comics in. Goodness, the 31 years that I've been alive on this earth. I don't think I've ever read the least amount of DC comics than I am right now. I'm just not interested in almost anything going on with DC comics right now. I don't want to read another Joker story. I don't care about Punchline. James Tynion's Batman. Is it Tynion that's writing Batman right now? I'm not really interested from what I've heard about it. The Future State didn't really grab me. Yeah, I mean, I just finished reading Jimmy Olsen by Matt Fraction. I was like, God damn, this was actually good. Motherfucker, it was actually a really good read.
Yeah.
It was fun all the way through.
Yeah, it was laugh out loud funny.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read Lois Lane by Rucka?
I haven't. It's on my to read list. I heard that's not bad.
It's good.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
I love the prank war that Jimmy Olsen gets into.
So great with Batman.
Where he replaces the bat signal with the Superman signal. I was like, oh, that is really good stuff, man.
I mean,
that's a lot of fun.
God, Matt Fraction just, I don't know. Well, whatever. Jimmy Olsen is a great book.
Mm-hmm.
He nailed it. I can't say, I mean, he does nail other stuff. Some stuff he doesn't, but boy, did he nail Jimmy Olsen.
He did. I will give credit where credit is due. He nailed that book 100%, and it was so much fun. It was 12 issues. And I'm starting to think Fraction might be just better at doing these kind of slice of life oddball characters. And just doing that. Because he did the same thing basically with Hawkeye, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good.
That's true.
And he might not be. There are certain writers I think that just aren't suited for the long form game. I think Tom King might be one of those as well, where his best stuff is just the smaller stuff,
like 12-issue miniseries type thing.
Yeah, like 12-issue miniseries, and you're in, you're out, and you're done. You tell your story, and you're done.
For me, as a Silver Age fan and a modern comics fan, Jimmy Olsen was perfect because it was written with modern sensibilities, but it had a ton of Silver Age Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really funny with really great art. I think it was Steve Lieber who did Superior Foes.
Beautiful art.
Yeah.
That book.
And it just starts and just goes 100 miles an hour throughout the whole book, and it is super fun.
Very fun. Yeah, I love the whole bit where Alfred paid $50,000 to all these people throughout the years to laugh at Bruce's jokes, and Bruce is just sitting in the back cave, and he puts on like the arrow with the little arrow hat, and he's like, "I am funny." And he's sitting there brooding. I love it, man. It's so good. Oh, and when Bruce sends like the surprise gift, and inside of it is the Red Lantern cat, and he throws up videos. Oh, it's great stuff, man.
Yeah, that cat was in the very beginning the pet of that alien he slept with, right?
I think that's what it was. Yeah,
because the cat showed up at the very beginning.
Yeah, the cat shows up in the first few issues where I forgot what the deal was, but he opens the present and then just blah comes out of his face.
Yeah. He just barfs up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
What is that book? Yeah, I should always be able to put my hands on that book.
It's a fun read, man. It's such a great read.
Yeah. I'm ready to read it again. Yeah, I would love it, Carly, if it was a hardcover. How do you feel about King on Supergirl?
Is he writing Supergirl?
That's what Rebel by Design says. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tom King's run on Supergirl with Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow 8-issue miniseries. So maybe it'll be good. It's 8-issue miniseries.
Pretty good. I need to. I really need to read that Strange Adventures book. I'm kind of waiting for it to all be done, to sit down and read it.
How many issues is Adam Strange going to be, or Strange Adventures rather?
Is it 8 or 12? I want to say 12.
Okay. And he's also writing Batwoman and Catwoman, or Batman and Catwoman, right?
He's doing that. He's got Rorschach right now, which that's 6 issues in. And honestly, I could not give a damn about any of the stuff going on with Watchmen and Rorschach. I am so done with all those characters and Watchmen and everything like that, especially after the last few years. I just could not care. I really couldn't.
I don't mind Rorschach. I am having a hard time. Taylor Brown talked to me into getting Joker War Saga hardcover, and I am going to have the hardest time reading that. I never read 3 Jokers. I barely made it through Jeff Lemire's Joker. I am just Joker outed. I am done, man.
Yeah, it's way too much right now. And to me, though, for the Watchmen stuff, it just comes down to I already got the perfect sequel to Watchmen. I don't need anything else. The Watchmen TV show is the perfect sequel to the book Watchmen.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else from that universe.
I don't ever want him to do another. Do you see the last comment from Near Mint Condition?
I did. Who's the hell is Ross Sharpie?
I lost my train of thought. Oh, I don't ever want any more Watchmen TV. Don't give me any more Watchmen TV series. That's it. Let that thing alone and leave it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really Watchmen the TV show is perfect. I can't think of a better way that show could have ended, or a better sequel to Watchmen than that show. From beginning to end, every single episode is just fucking amazing in that show.
Perfect. Bruce, you make a good observation. This chair is 50 years old. It belonged to my wife's parents. It is the most uncomfortable thing I could possibly sit in. And I'm sitting in it all the time to do these shows. So my wife watched a show I did yesterday with Maddie and my daughter about the Horizon Zero Dawn comic book. And I think she saw how uncomfortable I am in this. I am really uncomfortable in this seat.
You need one of those gaming chairs, man, where it looks like they're sitting in a space like a rocket ship chair or something like that. That's what
Maddie had going. She had a big pink mic that came down into the picture, and then a pink matching gaming chair right back there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh, that looks comfortable, and you sound really good." Get the chairs Omar has. Omar, are you in the chat still? What kind of chair do you have?
Just I gotta get going, man. I gotta get going in a few minutes.
Oh, do you? Okay, well, let's talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions for 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. At the end of every month, we give away a free $50 gift card to lucky viewers like you out there. Speaking of $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping in the United States. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. That's not a helpful answer.
I like this one. You'd be at the roof.
I'd be busting out of this room.
All right, man. I'm getting out of here.
Okay. Lou, where can they find you?
You can find me at Comics Guide 101 on Twitter, and Comics Guide 101 is where you can see the archive of my old videos. So check that out.
And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. Thank you to the chat. It was a very nice chat, except for Nirman condition. And we really enjoyed talking to everybody today. Thank you to InStockTrades.com. And we will see you tomorrow night at 8 with hauls, previews, and reads. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night, everyone.
Can you sign out?
I can sign out.
Oh, okay. Peace and love. Peace and love.
I think I can. Hold on. Wait. Yes.